What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here's Legitical Response. I cover political news. And you know what, guys? You know, when people start using underhanded tactics to try to win, you know there's a problem. We know that, yes, if you start using underhanded tactics, that means you're worried about losing. You are desperate to try to win. You know you don't have the argument, and you need to use any tactic you can to win. That's how they wanted 2020. That's how Democrats pulled the wool over everybody's eyes and stole the 2020 election. Yeah, they changed the rules and changed the laws. That's right. That's what they did. Right in the 11th hour, right before the election, and didn't notify the other side. So when everything starts coming up, they're like, oh, fraud, fraud, fraud over here, fraud over there, fraud everywhere. And come to find out it wasn't fraud. Everything was on the up and up. They tried like hell, but hey, that's how it happens. But once again, folks, they're using underhanded tactics again this year. But we're catching it this time, y'all. Check this out. Kamala Harris using Soros-funded fake news sites to lie to voters. Yeah, no surprise there, y'all. No surprise whatsoever. But there's a little bit of information. This is from Red State News, as you can see. And yeah, they're a right-wing source. So, you know, take everything with a grain of salt. I did verify this, though, so the facts are true. The facts are the facts, so you'll get the facts, and you'll get nothing but the facts. Now, we know this isn't the first time the Kamala Harris campaign has tried to do something like this. We covered a story a little while back where they caught the Kamala Harris's campaign taking news articles, changing the titles around to suit their needs, if you will, then running these news articles as ads, and then not saying it's an ad until way at the end of the article. Yeah, very underhanded tactics. Very, very dirty. So we know that, yeah, they're losing the argument, so they're trying any and every way they can to try to win. Let's get into this right quick and see what the hell they're doing this time. Check this out. Surprise, surprise. Kamala Harris is using a network of fake news sites to help prop up her campaign and mislead voters about her level of support. Oh my goodness, here we go. On Monday, the official Kamala HQ account posted a headline that read, Polish Pennsylvanians endorse Kamala Harris over Putin-Ukraine concerns. The source was a supposed news outlet named the Keystone Newsroom. Yes, so we know that they do this, right? Like, how come nobody calls them out for this? But this is what I want to know. How come CNN isn't all over this? How come MSNBC? Well, we know why MSNBC isn't all over this. They are nothing but Democrats. We know why these people. Okay, so I'm asking the question for no apparent reason. We know the answers to this, right? The corporate press, the mainstream narrative machine, is filled with nothing but left-wing activists. So of course they're going to back Democrats. They're going to cover for Democrats any way they possibly can. But once again, folks, these days we have the news. And this is the bifurcation in this country. This is why we're so polarized. You got the corporate press and the mainstream narrative machine over here just propping up this narrative, lying to people outright on a constant and daily basis all the freaking time, right? And then you have these set of people, mostly Democrats, that just buy into this. They're like, oh, well, this is an appeal to authority. I'm going to go with that. Just appealing to authority, just outright, just, oh, well, these people said it was true, so it must be true. I'm going to take their word for it. Instead of critically thinking about some of this stuff, using a little bit of rational thought processes and thinking about some of the stuff they say, because we go over nothing but left-wing corporate press articles all the damn time. And I'm constantly pointing out every single article I read, there is some sort of lie, a twist in the narrative building, paragraphs all over the place. It's just crazy what they do. And I point all that out, right? Anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. Read these articles, and the way stuff is phrased, it's like, hang on, that doesn't sound right. So you go and try to fact check this stuff, and boom, come to find out, oh, they lied. They lied through their freaking teeth. They do this constantly, y'all. And, you know, the right wing does it too. Now, don't get it wrong. I'm not just bashing the left. They do it as well. So we've got to poke through all this stuff. But once again, getting back to the bifurcation, you got this group of people that just buy into the corporate press, appeal to authority, blah, blah, blah. You get it. Then you got the other side. You got people that read the news. They read both sides. They fact check this stuff. They go and do some research. And this is the polarization, folks. You got people that are in tune and know stuff, that know what's going on. They know what's real. And then you got this other sect that think they know what's going on. It's a Dunning-Kruger effect turned up to 11, if you will. Turned right on up. But, you know, so what do you do about that? What do you do about that? You get people out there like me, you know, I'm trying to spit facts. Try to give you guys the facts. Just outright facts. Give you my opinion as well, but I'm trying to give you facts along with my opinion. And that you get people like, no, you're lying, blah, 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 blah. I get it all the time down in the comments section. Doesn't really bother me. I usually correct them, give them a link to go over here and check this out. Do they do it? I have no idea, but it's crazy, y'all. And I don't understand. If these people would just tell the truth, they could get much further. They could get a whole hell of a lot further. What the Harris campaign was trying to do was clear. Local news outlets are typically more trusted than national outlets by the residents of a given state. By pushing a headline bragging about a major endorsement from the Keystone newsroom, an air of credibility is given to the claim. The truth of the matter is far more insidious, though. Greg Price did some digging and figured out how the money is flowing and who is coordinating with who. And here's a post from Greg Price saying, Kamala's campaign is using fake news headlines from a liberal dark money funded organization that does political work on behalf of Democrats by operating phony news outlets. Here's how Soros funded propaganda moves in real time. Earlier today, Kamala HQ and Kamala Wins posted and you know, there's some stuff right there, but we're getting into that. That's the rest of the article. Let's get into it. The game being played is simple. The Soros-funded Courier newsroom starts a bunch of local news sites that are presented as completely unbiased and nonpartisan. Those dark money sites then publish positive headlines about Kamala Harris based on objectively false claims. In this case, the headline states that Polish Pennsylvanians, a community of nearly 800,000 people, have endorsed her. The truth is that the endorsement was just a letter written by 4 Democrat politicians. At that point, the only thing left is for Harris's official campaign account to share the headline and pretend it's a huge win. And you know what? I've been seeing a lot of these headlines in my news feed. A lot of these headlines. Like, I saw one earlier. It says, like, 100 economists endorse Kamala Harris. Like, hang on. Who are these 100 economists? Right? Like, I read through the article. They named a couple of people, but they didn't name 100 people. Like, who are the rest of these 98 economists that endorse Kamala Harris? But you're constantly seeing it. Like, I don't understand the meaning behind endorsements either. Like, they don't, for me at least. Like, let me know down in the comments if you think endorsements have any weight. I really don't think they do. Not when they come from somebody you don't know. Now, sure, if somebody like P. Diddy comes out, especially right now, and comes out and endorses Kamala Harris, you're going to think twice about voting for Kamala Harris, because you're going to be like, huh, yeah, that's crazy. You know, it'd be like Jeffrey Epstein coming out and endorsing Joe Biden, which, hang on. But, you know, these endorsements from nobodies don't matter. They don't matter whatsoever. But it's all about the manipulation, folks, and that's what the corporate press does. You see a headline, this person, such and such, endorses Kamala Harris. You see another headline, such and such, endorses Kamala Harris. And if you see this enough, you know, it puts a mental picture in your mind subconsciously that, hey, there's a lot of people endorsing Kamala Harris. Maybe I should look into voting for Kamala Harris. But that's the trick. That's the play. That's where they get you. They're just manipulating you, folks. And I'm here to point it all out. Is what they are doing illegal? No. Insane, right? That should be illegal outright, but it's not. We have freedom of speech. You can lie through your freaking teeth if you want to. That's why I get so mad at these people with, oh, well, we're trying to fight mis and disinformation. You should be banned from social media because you lied or you have a wrong opinion. Yeah, get out of here with that nonsense.
But it's incredibly dishonest and unethical, and it shows just how astroturfed Harris's presidential run is. From the very beginning, everything undergirding her campaign has been fake. Fake the glowing proclamations of joy from the mainstream press to the idea that she won an open primary as proclaimed by Nancy Pelosi. What does that say about Harris's confidence level as we enter the home stretch of this election? It certainly doesn't project confidence. A campaign that believes it's winning, going away, doesn't have to use fake news sites to promote false headlines about made-up endorsements. Yet that's exactly what Harris is doing. I'd also ask where the mainstream press is. Yes, I asked this earlier. CNN, The Times, MSNBC, etc. are obsessed with misinformation, but they've got nothing to say when the Harris campaign is the one pushing it. Why? It's almost as if their push to censor free speech under the guise of protecting democracy is all nonsense, and they are totally right on this. This is why I covered this, because these people are insane. The manipulation is real. You gotta watch out for this, folks. I'm not telling you to get out there and go vote for Donald Trump. He's got his problems. But if you're going to vote for Kamala Harris, at least know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Right? Look at the past 4 years. Just look at it. Do you want a repeat? Probably even worse. So we've got nothing but incompetence filling the Biden administration right now. And yeah, Kamala Harris happens to fall under that. She's trying desperately to separate herself from the Biden administration. Desperately. But then you got Karine Jean-Pierre over here like, no.
You know this is the Biden-Harris administration. Are you aware that this is the Biden-Harris administration? And she is indeed the vice president.
Did you know that it's the Biden-Harris administration? Constantly. It's the Biden-Harris administration. But these people are incompetent. Just look at the world right now. We're supposed to be the leaders of the free world. We're supposed to be the democracy, right? We're supposed to be, we're the sole superpower, if you will. We're supposed to be the ones that go negotiate peace all over the place. We've got the diplomats, y'all. We've got the institutions to handle this kind of stuff. But look at the world right now. The world is on fire. We've got war in Europe. We've got hyper-escalating war in the Middle East, right? That is literally on the brink. Literally on the brink. And then we've got possible war in the South China Sea with China wanting to invade Taiwan. They keep proclamating that, it's only going to be, by peaceful means. But then they'll say otherwise. Just turn around and say the complete opposite. So we don't know what's going on. Our leaders, our politicians, our negotiators, our diplomats, they're all cheering war in Ukraine. They're like, yeah, go Ukraine. Instead of trying to come to the negotiating table and stop the fighting over there in Ukraine. No, they're allowing Ukraine to invade Russia. What do I mean by allowing Ukraine to invade Russia? Yeah, we're sending them the weapons to enable them to be able to do that. That's exactly what we're doing. We have funded that war. Over $200 billion have been sent to fund that war, as a matter of fact. And now they're still upping the ante. They've been slowly upping the ante this whole time. From at the beginning of the war, no, we're not going to send any tanks, just bullets and artillery and all this. Yeah, now we have volunteers, for crying out loud, going over there and fighting in their war for them. Because they're running out of people. So they need volunteers to go over there and fight. And now we're sending tanks. They've got Abrams tanks. By God, they've got F-16s. They're about to start sending long-range cruise missiles. Right? Like, at what point does the United States become complicit in this? Like, I understand totally that Russia invaded Ukraine. They were pushed to do so, but they did. And you can't do that, Putin. Putin's a dirty, evil scumbag for doing so. That doesn't give us the right to intervene and come in and just help one side and not try to negotiate peace. That's what I don't get. Why are we sending so much money over there and not trying to stop the fighting? It's just mind-blowing to me that these people just want to continue war. They don't care about people's lives, for crying out loud. I understand Putin started it once again. I get that. And he needs to be held accountable for that, for sure. I would be totally fine with a regime change in Russia. That would be great news for the world. However, it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. You never know, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. I don't think that we need to be involved with this. I understand. Sell them all the weapons you want. Couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. Sell them the weapons. But we're not selling them the weapons. We're giving them the weapons. That's what we're doing. It's exactly what we're doing. And it's insane to me. You know, I think during World War II and right after World War II, some of our generals made a mistake. They wanted to go ahead and take over Russia. That's what they wanted to do. I think that might have been a good idea. Because look where we're at now. Look at the Cold War. That was insane. I think we most certainly could have done it. Fighting would have drug on for probably another few years at least a few years, if not 5, 6, 7. Would have drug on for a while. That might have been a good idea to do back then. I mean, Europe was decimated at that point, so it's like, you know, you keep going. Do you make one world government here? What do you do? Might have worked out for the best. You never know. Of course, then we might not have got a moon landing and all that other garb. Let me know down in the comments if you think we didn't go to the moon, because, boy, have I got some facts for you. But, yeah, it's just crazy to me to think that these people are so incompetent as to allow Putin to invade Ukraine and not try to stop it. Yeah, they did nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Oh, no, they sanctioned Russia. Sanctions don't work. That's obvious, folks. That's clearly obvious. Because Russia's doing quite well right now, as a matter of fact. And you know, those sanctions, they don't really work if you just sanction them a little bit. And don't sanction their main source of income, for crying out loud, which is natural gas and oil. Yeah, well, we continued buying natural gas, and they continued selling it to Europe, for crying out loud. Like, what are you doing, U.S. diplomats and Joe Biden? How incompetent can you be? And then we want to sanction China and Russia because they send weapons to Russia. Did I say Russia twice? I meant China and Iran. Sorry about that. But yeah. Want to sanction them for sending weapons to Russia. Like, huh? Hypocrite very much there, U.S. government? Yeah, I don't think that's so nice to do. And how does that look to the rest of the world? Like, if somebody like me from within the United States can see the hypocrisy going on with that and think that's embarrassing, that's very embarrassing. What do you think these world leaders think when they see this going on? Like, hang on. They're pretty much funding the war for Ukraine. And then they're going to sanction Iran and China for helping Russia? Yeah, get the hell out of here. And they think we can virtue signal and be serious. Like, how can these people take us seriously when we're doing stuff like that? Like, just blatant hypocrisy, just out in the open for everybody to see. How do we go to the UN and think that all these other countries are going to take us seriously? Yeah, the UN Assembly's going on right now. It's about to close out, but that's just blows my freaking mind. That these people, like, do you not think that somebody is going to think that you're sanctioning Iran and China for sending weapons to Russia, whilst at the same time, like, I hate to keep harping on this, but it just blows my mind that they can't see that. How incompetent of you not to even be able to see your own hypocrisy. It's just blatant. As blatant as it is, you can't see it. Yeah, that's utter incompetence, in my opinion. But I think I've rambled on for long enough on this one. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this. That's all I got. want to thank everybody for watching. Y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.